Hello, my name is Kimberly Latrice Jones, author and activist, and I'm here with my brothers, and I am on the Uglymoney podcast. Tap in. Hey.
What up, what up, what up? I am Uglymoney Nietzsche, and welcome to yet another episode of the Uglymoney podcast. And my guest for the evening, activist, author, inspiration altogether. She's also the co-author of the New York Times best-selling novel, I'm Not Dying With You Tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, show your love for Miss Kimberly Latrice Jones. Hey!
DJ!
I am so glad you were here.
I know.
I am so glad you were here because we got a lot of catching up to do.
I know I don't get to see you anymore.
You know, that's because, you know, you just have blossomed. You know what I'm saying? You know, we've just blossomed into what we all thought you were going to and knew what you were. You know what I'm saying? You've blossomed into that. And I am extremely proud of you.
Thank you.
And I love watching it, you know, unfold. So let's start from the beginning. Now, I'm pretty sure people know you from what they know you for, but let's start from the beginning. Who was Kimberly Latrice Jones before Kimberly Latrice Jones was Kimberly Latrice Jones?
Before Kimberly Latrice Jones was Kimberly Latrice Jones, she was just a little hood chick from the south side of Chicago.
Come on.
That was the baby of 7 kids, so I had to learn how to fight real early.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, I just always, was a creative kid. And my mother, you know, shouts out to my mom. She always just nurtured that. So, I would be like, I wanna rap, and my mother would go get letters so me and my little crew could print up T-shirts and stuff. And even when I decided I wanted to go into theater, she found every theater program that she could find to put me in, found a performing arts high school to put me in. So she just kind of you know, especially growing up where I grew up, if your kids show interest in anything, you jump on that to keep them out of trouble.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it just started with that, with my pen, but she also surrounded me by, you know, a lot of people involved in liberation. I would go to after school programs at Operation Push, Rainbow Coalition. My mother was friends with a lot of politicians, so I ear hustled a lot of conversations about what was going on in the world and black people stationed, and that just always kind of stuck with me. So as I became a creator, I always wanted to make sure that whatever I was doing, it gave space for authentic, raw, and true melanated deliciosity. Amen. And definitely things that weren't derogatory to the community. So,
well, you know, let's talk about Chicago as a whole anyway. And you see a lot of people that are quote unquote woke.
Yeah. That
come from Chicago. And we're, you know, I mean, you got your Commons. Yeah. And we'll talk about Kanye later. But you know, you got a lot of art. You have a lot of talent that come out of that city. Mm-hmm. What's in the water out there in the Chi-Town?
Hard times.
Okay.
That's what's in the water out there. Really hard times. No, I'm just kidding, because it's not all that. You know, I personally feel like they exaggerate the situation. I posted a chart the other day because I be having to get people together because I'm not gonna fight you. This stopped being a heart fight for me a long time ago. This is a head fight. We gotta fight heady. We gotta fight strategic. We gotta fight smart. So whenever people give me some information, I try to just get them the facts. I'm gonna browbeat your ass with facts. So,
there it is.
So, you know, and actually, the crime rate in Chicago was much higher in the 90s when I was coming up.
Oh, wow.
The numbers actually show, we've decreased murders by the hundreds annually, right? But the way they make it seem, you would think it's increased.
Crazy.
But I'm fuck what you talking about. What's the numbers? What's the facts? What's actually happening? And there are a lot of people on the front line. You know, a homegirl that I grew up with, Tangi Harper, she been on the front lines of Chicago for a long time. She has a program called a Happiness Club. She gets kids out of gangs and off the streets by having them, to get involved in dance and creative arts. There's an amazing organization that I work with. There's some young cats that I try to support and love called Good Kids Mad City. Mm-hmm. They're young people. They're kids between the ages of 14 and 20 that's working to clean up their streets to stop gang violence and gun violence in their communities. So people have been doing that, but the narrative got crazy when Obama got in office because, you know what I'm saying, it was propaganda to say you can't even control your own city, and people took that propaganda, blew it up, and ran with it. And it's I'm not finna argue with you. I'm finna show you the actual numbers that we've seen a decrease in the murder rate in Chicago, but nobody is talking about that because that's not interesting for us.
And it's not clickbait. You know,
it's not clickbait.
And those are the facts. You know, because we have all heard the narrative about Chi-Town, and given. To make no mistake, Chi-Town ain't nothing to play with.
No,
you know
we definitely ain't no pussy.
That ain't nothing to play with in the Chi. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I have seen that there are people that are actively pushing to clean up and police. You know, basically, you know, take care of their own, police up themselves.
Yeah.
And you know, it starts with that. You know what I'm saying? When you got a street cat policing up another street cat, hey, bro, you know what I'm saying? That way we don't have to add that other police up. You know what I mean? Into it or whatever is a beautiful thing. Now you said some things about like Operation Push and some after school programs and things of that nature. Talk to me about the importance of those type of programs, you know, for us, by us type of situations.
So the crazy thing is most people now are discovering who I really am. Most people, you know, came into knowing me after my video went viral.
We're gonna get into it.
But the first line of that speech actually is a borrowed first line of the speech, which is why I said I'm glad they taught me this at Push, because I went to after school programs at Push, and there was a woman, God rest her soul, she's since passed on, who ran the program, named Reverend Willie T. Barrow, and she taught us as children, she taught us about the economics of Black America, and she taught us how there was a through line between what happened with Reconstruction, well, slavery, what happened with Reconstruction, what happened with Jim Crow, and all of that, all the way up to mass incarceration. And so that first line that I said was actually a first line from a speech I got to watch her deliver when I was a kid, and I carried that message with me for all those years, I guess, until the ancestors were ready for me to give it to the world. But it just goes to show, you plant a seed in a child, no matter what's growing around them, you nurture something in them that has the potential to grow. And that's what we have to do more of. We have to be very conscious and careful about what it is we're implanting in the kids, because it sticks. Now, I was blessed that that's the kind of stuff that was implanted in me. I still rock you on your shit.
I'm gonna take a drink to that, man. And shouts out to our liquor sponsor, Barmaid Vodka. It's actually African American owned lemonade flavored vodka. It's tasty, but we
and vegan.
Yeah, it's
and
vegan
too.
For all you vegan too. You know, we just
get fucked up.
I'm just gonna sit.
Oh, can we curse on this show?
Man, hey, listen, it's the Kimberly Latrice Jones show. I'm just a co-host, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I mean? We got to switch the banner in a minute. Hey, man, so take me back to I think we're in a pandemic. We were probably in a we were quarantining.
Right.
Guy by the name of George Floyd.
Yeah.
Counted some police officers, and some things transpire. He says he can't breathe, and you know, days later the world erupts.
Yeah.
Just give me your take on first seeing that footage.
The 8 minutes and 46 seconds is brutal to watch. It's brutal to watch a man beg for his life. It's brutal to watch a man call for his mother. And it's even more brutal to know that all this time later, we still live in a world where people don't see our humanity. You know, we talk about Black Lives Matter, but we ain't even started actually dealing in Black lives. We too busy trying to fix the reoccurrence of Black death. Because if you start talking about Black lives, you start talking about the value of Black lives, then you got to talk to me about education, healthcare, economic disparagement, food deserts, all of the things that affect our lives. Legislation that's still in place from the Black codes, the basically the reinvention of slavery with the 13th Amendment, the fact that we need to reinstate the Freedmen's Bureau so it could do what it was supposed to do in the first place. Wow. So, you know, we haven't got into Black lives. Because you talking about Black lives, you talking about Black living. We so busy still fighting Black death is what we actually saying. And to say, you know, I understand why those sisters started that hashtag, but to say that Black Lives Matter is really asking for the bare minimum. Man, that's all the fuck I could get, is that I matter. Not that I'm thriving, that I'm developing, that I'm growing, that I'm thriving, that I'm just fucking matter. That's bare fucking minimum. Fucking snake matters, an ant matters, this fucking camera matters based on what it is that you're going to say and do. So we're going to have to require a larger demand. But I think at this point, what needs to happen is we need to recognize that racism is not a problem that Black people need to concern themselves and fix, because we didn't create it. It's a white problem that they created that they need to fix. What Black people need to do is focus on being more insular, on circulating the Black dollar, on having better health care, on working to make changes so that we can increase the funds for our education, because we live in an educational caste system. I was on a Zoom call with a few of the Black MPs, members of Parliament in the UK, and when I explained to them how our educational system worked, What they said back to me was, so you have an educational caste system? Yeah, because it's backed on property tax. So if you're rich, you get a good education. If you're poor, you don't. We spend $28 billion annually more educating white children than we do black children. When you talk about the economic disparagement in our community and they say we want handouts, shit, y'all motherfuckers got the motherfucking handouts. Between 1929 and 1965, the U.S. underwrote $280 billion in home ownership because they knew that the through line for generational wealth was home ownership. They carved out the suburbs so that they could have a space for them to go, and there was actually laws on the book that prevented black people living in their homes. So they got all the motherfucking handouts. They got everything so that they could build generational wealth, and we got everything that was swathed away from us to keep us from doing that. So at the end of the day, for me, fuck y'all government, fuck y'all plan, fuck y'all bullshit. I want black people to be insular. I want us to take a cue from the Jewish community. I want us to take a cue from the Asian community. I want us to circulate our dollar with each other. I want us to treat each other like a tribe. I want us to spend with each other, love on each other, and I want us to show each other grace. You go to McDonald's 50 motherfucking times and the goddamn ice cream machine is broken. You still go back and you still fucking order ice cream, but you go to a black business and they ain't goddamn spoons, and you on Yelp, you on Instagram, you on everywhere disparaging your brother. Show each other some grace. We've been traumatized and brutalized in a way that it's going to take a millennium to fix it. Be patient with each other. Show love with each other. Have kindness for each other. Express understanding with each other. If you walk in a restaurant and they ain't got napkins, the next time you go back, you take that sister napkins and support her business. Amen. You tell everybody how delicious the food was. You tell everybody you go ahead and go, but have a little patience because they short staffed. Because when it comes to the redlining that happens in our communities, we're incapable of getting the loans that our white counterparts get. So we're starting businesses with our savings, with our hustle money, with our 401k. We're not getting the necessary startup loans so that we have an account somewhere that has our needs for the year already in account until we can get in the black.
Come on.
So they ain't gonna do, we already know they don't give a fuck about us, so we gotta give a fuck about us.
Yeah. You know, you said something important and dope when you was talking about circulating that black dollar within ourselves. Because I think that is, in my opinion, that's a major way to get people to wake up. It's, when you start messing with them folk money, or I like to call them the ops. When you start messing with the ops money, they gonna open their eyes. You know what I'm saying? And for the black dollar to be in the trillions, that it is, or whatever, I would love to see us as a community, just take a little more time and effort to, be very aware of where we place it. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? And to shop with us some more. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Jewish people have definitely honed in on that as well, as because they shop Jewish. You know what I'm saying? They support each other. And unfortunately, it's just I don't know if it's 400 years of oppression or 400 years of brainwashing or whatever it is, but sometimes we see, seems like we're our worst enemy. Sometimes, like we hate each other more than anybody else can hate each other. And I think it's definitely some awareness that needs to happen to the point of, hey, support your brother, support your sister. You know what I'm saying? We are cut from the same cloth. We come from the same thing. But I think it was just years and years of, Uncle Tom or, the master telling you, well, if you tell on this slave, I'll give you a chicken. And, he thinking that he coming up and it's been embedded, and, it's time to break those chains.
It's mentally time to break those chains. And we have to do some revolutionary healing. That needs to be one of the first things that speaking of which, September 20th, you can come to my retreat, Revolutionary Healing. It's been put together by my homegirl, and I support her in it, the good Queen Yanaja Ha. So it's called Queen Yanaja Ha and Friends. I'm one of the friends. And we're actually doing an event called Revolutionary Healing, where we are helping black people to break ancestral trauma, where we are having meditation. We're having yoga. We're doing it by the water so you can relax, so you can start to break some of those chains, because you ain't blacking in this country and ain't got PTSD.
Come on.
Not if you wake up and live here every day.
Come on. Ancestral trauma. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah. No, exactly. Now, let's go back a little bit more. And I think you're in, I want to say Minneapolis. Where you on the front line somewhere. Here
in Atlanta.
You're in Atlanta, and somebody pulls out a phone. You say, I need to say something.
Gotta say something
of that video that we have all seen several times over. What's going on in your mind? How did that come about? Tell me about that day.
It's so crazy because I have been on the front lines for a couple of days already. I hadn't got tired yet. I was still fired up. 100 days in now, I'm starting to get tired.
Come on.
I'm like, man, protesting is a young man's game. I need to pass the torch.
feet hurt.
My feet, I can't keep marching with y'all. Well, the 20-somethings, pick up the baton. So, flashback real quick. I had in the fall before COVID and the civil unrest of 2020, I had tried to put together a cleanup in Bankhead. I got the city to bring out dumpsters. I got some nonprofit organizations to give us trash bags and all this stuff. I did a sign up. I got like 4 people to sign up. So we were only able to clean like 2 or 3 streets. Fast forward to a few days, this is a week after George Floyd is killed, civil unrest. This is the night after Atlanta had its unrest where they tore up downtown, Buckhead, all of that. Mm-hmm. I'm downtown and I see all these bourgeois black people this is right before this happens. I see all these bourgeois black people down there. They done spent their own money buying graffiti off, getting the graffiti off the wall. They sweeping, they boarding up the walls. They doing all this shit. And I'm struck. So my homeboy was down there interviewing people for his documentary. So I was kind of doing some man on the street for him. And I'm talking to the people, and with every single time, all I'm hearing them say is, this is our neighborhood, and this makes us look this way. And I'm like, make us look this way to who? I'm trying to get to the core. Who is this making us look a certain way to? Yeah. I realized they're more concerned about the white gays than they are about 8 minutes and 46 seconds. Fuck this property.
Come on, man.
We talking about people getting slaughtered in the streets. Fuck this property. So when I'm sitting around and I'm talking to them and I'm watching how they moving and I'm seeing that they're out there more concerned about the white man's property and they don't own a fucking thing, they clean it up, than they brothers who dead, who bloody bodies is in the street. That's why I said, fuck your Target.
Damn right.
Fuck your Hall of Fame. As far as I'm concerned, they could burn this bitch to the ground. And it still wouldn't be enough. And they are lucky that what black people are looking for is quality and justice and not revenge. Because if I came and kicked your door in and treated your people the way you've treated my people, I'd be slaughtering you motherfuckers on a daily basis.
Come on now.
So you lucky. What I'm looking for is for you to get your fucking foot off our neck for my people to stand up. And I'm going to stay in these streets and I'm going to stay popping my shit until I see it change. I don't give a fuck about your property. We don't own anything. You might own a business, but do you own the fucking land? You might own a t-shirt company. Do you own the cotton fields, the cotton gin, the distributor, the marketing? They have kept us from building actual wealth. Ain't none of us wealthy. It's a few of us rich. You want to talk about wealth? Motherfucker, do you own a bank? How much land do you own? Do you own the cotton? If you're selling cakes, do you own the sugar cane? That's wealth.
Come on.
We service industry. We serve people. Still, we don't develop. Wealth is in development. Wealth ain't in the t-shirt, it's in the cotton.
Wealth is not in a t-shirt. It is in the cotton.
That we picked. That we spent 276 years building their wealth on our backs. And then we had 85 years of Jim Crow where they murdered us, where they hung us in the street, where we developed these ancestral traumas that we still can't get away from. Before every single black person in this room will tell you about when their mother sat outside in a car with them and told them don't go in this store and don't ask for nothing. Don't touch nothing. That's because in 1955, if you went in a store and you broke something and the white man got mad, the Klan would come to your house that night and hang your fucking family. And y'all still telling y'all kids that bullshit and you don't even know the root. You don't know the root of your ancestral trauma. That your mama's mama told her that, and her mama's mama told her that to keep somebody from getting murdered. We too comfortable with Black Death.
There you go.
This ain't to keep somebody from being upset, from being sad. It's to keep them from dying. They're killing us. We are at war, and the only people who don't know we at war is us. They are hunting us. I tell every black person I know, get armed. Protect your family. They come for me, I'm going to come for them back.
Facts. I'm gonna sip to that, ladies and gentlemen. And that's Kimberly Latrice Jones.
That's my little brother Nietzsche.
Whew. This gonna be a good one. Yeah. Whew. Let me stretch on that. Sister, I wish you the very best. I am just elated to see the journey that you have taken, where you are going, where you have been, the way you have been so just genuine throughout it. The sky is the limit. I think the world is just waking up to the genius that is Kimberly Latrice Jones. And we're gonna do everything that we can in our small little platform to let people know about the genius that is Kimberly Latrice Jones
on this big platform.
Come on, well, I try to be humble. We doing a little something, But please let us know if someone wants to reach out, if someone wants to learn, if something wants, because we can only talk about so much here. If someone wants to get more in tune with what you have going on and the things that you support, where do they reach you? How do they get in contact? What does that look like? You can find all things Kimberly Jones at www.kimjoneswrites.com. Again, that's www.kimjoneswrites.com. We got an Instagram page pretty popular too now. A little bit. That thing kind of went up. Few people. We be humble, few people. Let me know where they can follow you at before we get out of here, man. You can follow me on Instagram at Kimberly Latrice Jones. You can also follow my nonprofit Hood Girl Heroes. What is next? Well, give me a sneak peek now. Can I get an exclusive? You get exclusive. I know you're working. Exclusive. You know what I'm saying? Dude done told me about some things or whatever. Well, some things I can't talk about yet. Shouts out to Push. Shouts out to Do. I mean, I ain't gonna spill the beans. But can you give me an Uglymoney sneak peek of what's next for Miss Yes, Jones? You know what? I can definitely give you an Uglymoney sneak peek on this. In that I have 2 new books coming out in 2021. I have the first book will be out in the spring of 2021. It's called How We Can Win. And what it is going to be is me breaking down the economic disparagement that has happened to the African American community and to let people know that, in the words of the brother 19 Keys, that white allies have black receipts. And the only way that we are going to get ahead is via economics and how we can go about doing that and how we can win. So that book will be out spring of 2021, and then fall 2021 I have another young adult novel because I write a lot of novels for teenagers about race and race relations, and that one is called I Will Fly Again. That title might change, but it's about 2 girls, one black and one white cheerleaders who take a knee at their high school football game on a Friday night and the fallout from it and how the black girl is punished far more harshly than the white girl. And so that one will be out. And my current novel that is out, I'm Not Dying With You Tonight, which is a New York Times bestseller and was nominated for an NAACP Image Award for Outstanding Literary Work Youth and Teen, is available everywhere books are sold. Target, Walmart, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million. It's printed in multiple languages if you don't speak English. And we have sold the film rights to that. The people who did the most recent Jumanji bought the film rights to that, so there will be a film made of that. And I got a couple of announcements that I can't make yet, but I'm gonna come back and make them here. I'm gonna come back and make it here. Oh, that's what you do. You got a home with us. Yeah. You got a home with us. Shouts out to my son Drake, the genius. My little Drakey Poo. Shouts out to Drakey. My 14-year-old who probably don't call me Drakey Poo on no podcast, Mom. But Kim, I thank you for coming by. Yes, we are looking forward to you coming back and dropping all those big bombs. You are a credit to us. You are a credit to black people all around. And keep going. I'm gonna keep going. Stay motivated. Y'all lift me up in prayer. Stay motivated. We praying for you, and we rooting for you. We rooting for you. Well, I'm a fan, been a fan. I've been a fan ever since I produced one of your videos. Come on, man. Come on. Hey, back in the day. Back. That was a long time ago days. Long time ago. I used to do a little something. All right, man. I'm going to get up out of here. You can follow me at Uglymoney Nietzsche. That's Uglymoney Niche. And remember, the bigger the dream, the bigger the risk, the bigger the payoff. This has been the Uglymoney Podcast with Kimberly Latrice Jones. Be safe, be blessed.